So I hear you're a libertarian. What's that all about?
Libertarians believe in individual liberty, personal responsibility, and freedom from government on all issues at all times. We don't say government is too big in one area, but then in another area push for a law to force people to do what we want. We believe in individual liberty, personal responsibility, and freedom from government on all issues at all times.
Do you think we should raise taxes on the rich so we can redistribute wealth to the poor?
No, it is not right for people to be taxed at a different rate based on their income. Also, rich people are the most mobile members of society. If they are overtaxed, they will simply move themselves, their assets and capital offshore, which will in turn decrease investment in the country.
Do you think we should get rid of the minimum wage?
Yes, the minimum wage is a restriction on free trade. It also places an artificial value on the cost of labor, which makes it more difficult for low-skilled workers to find work, and therefore gain experience and training.
Should governments bail out banks and other large companies?
No, this is an incursion on the free market, at the taxpayer's expense. No company should ever receive a taxpayer-backed bailout. It encourages bad financial practices and corruption between the state, corporations and unions.
Do you think it should be illegal for members of the public to own guns?
No, people can protect themselves as they see fit. Remember, if someone owns a gun, it does not mean they will murder anyone. In addition, it is very dangerous for a people to allow their state to have a monopoly over weaponry and therefore force.
Do you think people who hold racist or extreme views should be allowed to publicly express their ideas?
To not would be a gross infringement on freedom of speech. And it sets a dangerous precedent for further reducing freedom of speech. It must be noted that defining things as extreme or dangerous is a purely subjective activity. Therefore, the state will only define things as extreme if they pose a threat to it, but not necessarily to the people.
Do you think the state should make people change their behavior to tackle climate change? Why?
In a libertarian society, the state will not force any law-abiding person to behave in a certain way, as this is an infringement on freedom of thought and action. This is an especially acute issue when you consider there is still great debate about whether climate change is caused directly by human action. People should note that the state have a lot to gain in terms of social control from climate change catastrophe, along with large corporations who will find it easier to cope with environmental regulations than their smaller competitors.
It is wrong for the police to retain the DNA of anyone not serving a prison sentence.
There is no reason why the state should be allowed to steal the property of a person when they have not been convicted of any crime or are currently serving a prison sentence.
Do you think the state should ban people from watching violent pornography?
This is an incursion on freedom of thought. It is not the business of the state to involve itself in the sexual preferences of consenting adults.
Where can I find out more about these ideas?
Check out the Libertarian Party UK website to find out more.